Hey everybody. So before I get going on this bad boy, I wanted to address one of the most popular things I've ever gotten in the comments, aside from how's Ted doing? The bench talk I did a couple of weeks ago got a normal amount of attention, but a normal amount of comments, but a lot of comments were about gluing a hex into the old bead lock that stripped out on the front of the old TRX6 here. A lot of people commented on it. Now, I've been in RC a long time, and I know that trick. I got parts out the yin-yang, and I have done that on the trail numerous times. It's a temporary fix, right? Sure, it could last a long time, but you never know. But to get you home, it's a good enough thing. I'm going to tell you why it won't work on a TRX6 with what I got kicking around for parts, because I mainly have standard parts, which, like, to me is like anything you can transfer from like an Axial or anything else. You can use hexes from just about anything on anything else, but not a Traxxas, and I'll show you why. So there's your typical front end, or a front end of a TRX6. Here's the hex. Now it's a little different than any others. You see how large that hole is? And then it's got that little sleeve on the end of it? Not all hexes have that, but Traxxas do. So when it goes on, it sits in there nicely, but it's also held on with a grub pin. So it's not just a grub screw. Is that going to come in? Probably not, but it's a pin instead of just a grub. So that goes all the way through, and then it threads in, and that holds the hex on. So that's one problem. You won't be able to hold the hex on in place, but you say the wheel nut will hold it on. That won't stop it from spinning though. You need that pin to go through in order to stop the hex from spinning on the shaft, or spindle, or whatever you want to call that piece. Now, say you get rid of this hex, and you just put a pin through there. Well, that pin is not the normal size pin that you would get on any other shaft, and that runs into a couple problems. One, you kind of have to use that, or if you can find a pin that doesn't have a grub on the end that is that size and it does fit in there, and you could use the stock hex again if you wanted to glue that in there, but then I'm down a hex and I don't want to buy more hexes if I don't have to. I got piles of these old hexes at different thicknesses. Some of them are held on by grubs and some of them aren't. Problem is that shaft size that goes through the middle of it, it doesn't go through, it won't go onto a Traxxas, because the Traxxas is a lot thicker. So that hole through the center of the hex is actually quite smaller than your Traxxas one. Look at the size. Well, maybe I can hold them both at the same size, or same time. Well, I'm going to get rid of the truck. So there's the two hexes. You can see the size of the hole difference. So even if I went crazy and clamped this thing down to the bench and drilled a new hole through it to make it big enough to hold that, the slot for the pin that would go through the shaft still isn't big enough on there. So that's why I didn't do the glue thing, because there was just too many things in the way. I'd rather just leave it till I fix it properly. So that's why I didn't do that. I just wanted to explain that to you guys, because I had so many people, oh, just glue a hex in. Not doable. Alright, get that out of the way. Let's get back to this thing. Alright, let's get into this bad boy. So, I don't want to go too crazy on the descriptions and all that. No, yeah, the lighting I know is kind of weird in here. Maybe I'll throw that old hat on backwards so you can see my face a little better. So there's a light hanging from the ceiling, then I got a flood lamp sitting right on top of the camera. That's all I got for lighting at the moment. Probably going to stay that way because I'm hopefully going to be not living in the shed too much longer as soon as winter goes away. I'm just outside Ottawa, well, about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes outside of Ottawa here in good old Ontario, Canada. And, ice. Slice. And we just got another foot of snow, and there's more on the way, so I can't really do much trailing because all the trails are full of frickin' snow. I could take the blizzard out, but going out with the blizzard is only fun for a couple of minutes when you're by yourself. As soon as there's somebody else out there with you, it's loads of fun. And it's very difficult to drive and film at the same time with that vehicle. So I've been mainly doing inside stuff, which makes the 124s perfect. If I can get into this box, why won't you open? Ah, there we go. Alright. Love new RCs. Doesn't everybody? Everybody does. Thanks again to Tony. I've said it so many times. I'll probably keep saying it because I'm that kind of person. I'll try and keep it to a minimal. Let's see here. Body scissors, that'll work. I think. Got some unzipping to do. Clippity clip clip. And voila! Alright, nothing else going on in there. A little bit of rocky background. If you guys like that kind of stuff, you can keep the box, or when you're not using the RC, you can use it to store it. or just sit on the shelf like that. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. I'll hold on to that for now. For a little while. Let's see. Straight out of the box. We're going to try the scale. First thing. That's nice, eh? Oh yeah, you can feel the twist. Because I remember when I first started with the 124, so it was like 2010-ish, somewhere around there. And then I started my YouTube in like 2011. I started out with the Losies, the micro crawlers. I had the one that kind of looked like this, but it was a little bit smaller, I think. 132nd possibly. I don't know. I can't remember if they called it a 124th or not. But anywho, I had one. Let's see, is the battery in this guy? I can't even remember how the battery or the body comes off now. Is it Velcroed? Sounds like Velcro. I hope it is. Yeah, it is. Trying to remember back to Tony's and everybody else's videos about how they were made. Oh yeah. Oh, it can... Oh yeah, okay. It pivots. I can see. Oh, one of the things I'm going to do is decase the ESC. I like doing that to get rid of weight. Top weight. Nobody wants top weight. So the battery's in there already. Put that on there. That on there. Alright, that's on. Alright, so that's as heavy as stock. Get this thing powered up. Hello. Stock out of the box, 229. I think it says on here the weight, and that is different. It says 203, so that must be without the body. Or without the battery, sorry. Sorry, I'm just kind of staring at it. It's nice, because there's the orange one and the black and green, and my favorite color is green, so it was natural for me to get that. I wonder what size those screws are. That size, apparently. So I remember Tony and a couple other guys saying that they tighten up the servo horns first thing to lock that up. Let's get rid of this thing. 230. Reminds me of a joke that I won't tell you. It's almost maxed out when it just sits there. But yeah, that articulation is pretty wild. And let's see, right about there. She gets pretty high up there before the rear end lifts. Baby Digger. There's a size comparison for you. Baby Digger's a fairly beefed up truck just because of the tires. And these tires are the same as those. Maybe even a little bit bigger. These are the My Claws. They're basically a, I wouldn't say knockoff, but they're a 1/24th version of an HPI Grabber, pretty close to them. And they're not bead locked on. We'll talk about that later. But there's a size comparison, and if you go to the articulation, there's where the rear wants to lift up on Baby. And there's where the rear lifts up on that one. Am I showing you good enough? Yeah, there's the height difference of when they want to split. Molly's having a drink. Oh yeah, sorry it took me so long to get this video out. A couple of things. Molly wasn't doing good, so it was affecting me because I love my Molly very, very much. But she's doing a lot better now. She was allergic to something or had a cold. I removed her out of a certain situation where I was suspicious that's where she was getting her... she was sneezing constantly, almost constantly. Like, neither one of us were getting much sleep, so that wasn't very much fun. But she seems to be doing fine now. She's running around playing fetch. She's sneezing, or not sneezing anywhere near as much as she was, but she is a sneezy dog anyways. Sneezy puppy. Trying to get the stock battery out of here. You guys have seen this truck on numerous people's channels already. Like Tony, CCRC, Mofo, Dirk, my buddy over at Psycho 13 Garage. Is that right? I think so. Sorry if I got it wrong, buddy. We'll get this guy in there. This battery should be charged up because I had them charged up for last weekend. But between Molly not feeling well and lack of gig on my phone, because I use my phone for my source of internet. So anytime you guys see me on other people's chats or other people's YouTube channels for streams, I'm using up data on the phone, and I ran out, and I had to wait till the 4th before I got new data. Oh, I better get the remote out. So that's kind of why the video ended up being delayed till today. Oh, good old air pressure. Garbage. Hi, Molly. She's poking me in the leg with her snout. God, she's so pretty. Oh, another fantastic charger. Yeet! Remote. I've heard good things about it. Spectrum. I used to be not a fan. Because back in the day, when everyone, like I hung out with trail guys, right? So at the beginning I hung out with Ted a lot, and anyone else, and sometimes there was lots of us, like 10, 12 people was not abnormal. Sometimes we'd have as many as like 15 guys go out on a trail run with us. Shouldn't need anything else out of there. But yeah, we'd have so many people out, and the cheapest way to upgrade your remote 10 years ago or so, excuse me, was the Spectrum DX2 or DC2 or something like that. It had 3 channels. It was inexpensive. It came with a receiver. It was like 60 or 70 bucks Canadian. They became more and more expensive as time went on. Come on out of there. And they would interfere with each other. So like one person's remote would be, all of us could stop for a break, and people like, my truck's twitching, I don't know why. We'd have like a couple guys shut their trucks off and shut their remotes off, but leave their trucks on. One guy would use his remote, and it would operate multiple vehicles. So the signals were always getting mixed. So that left a bad taste in my mouth about Spectrum. But apparently nowadays that doesn't happen as much, because I do have some Spectrum radios that come with the RCs now, and I haven't had any issues, so I should probably not hate them anymore. Alright, where's our power button? Yeah, it's a lack of light, I tell you. Steering, throttle. That power? Power's on. Truck. Plug her in here. There, come on, fingers. Oh yeah, I forgot about the lights. Nice. Nice. Oh, I like that. Well, the servos are quieter. I'll give them that. Seems fast enough. Okay, so up is crabbing. That's so cool. Oh yeah. Can you ever pivot, eh? I may have to do some more lighting. Oh, she's got speed. Instant forward reverse, that's nice. Oh yeah, you can get used to that real quick. Alright, so that's beautiful. Everything seems to be working well. Let's climb something. Servo case. Just gonna push it around. Need something heavier. Tools. The old dynamite kit. That I've had that thing forever. It's gonna be nothing to crawl. Good test of slowness. It feels like a longer truck. I haven't read up on the wheelbases or anything like that, but just looking at it. Nope, she's the exact same as Baby Digger, and Baby Digger was the 4-door Jeep JL there. But yeah, the wheelbase seems to be exactly the same. The biggest difference on this guy, from what I've learned so far, is that it's got a smoother chassis, or smoother and larger plate on the bottom, like the transmission plate, which I almost bought the brass one while I was picking up the truck, but I decided not to because I'm going to be, oh man, my mind is all over the map here. I just can't decide on what to talk on right now. I was going to build a course. I'm all over the map. I'm sorry, guys. I'm worse than normal. So excited. I plan on building a course. I went to the next town over today. Today is Sunday, as I probably have mentioned. And I went to a couple building centers, and everybody's closed around here on a Sunday, so I got to wait till Wednesday. That's my next day off. So I'll be going out Wednesday to pick up materials. I'll be building another foam course, the pink foam board insulation. I'll just screw it and glue it and paint it and whatever, just something to drive on until the summer comes, and I can make a nice course down in my place. That'll be actually made out of rock, which gets me back to the brass plate. I didn't want to go with the brass plate because brass, any kind of metal, doesn't slide on rock very well, and I plan on making the course out of my place out of Mother Nature, so it's going to be rocks and dirt and sticks and all that, and I want the bottom of the vehicle to slide a bit, but a little bit of metal upgrades aren't bad because you want to keep that truck planted as well, right? Alright, let's talk CCXRC. So, yeah, that is floppy. Floppy truck. Okay. We'll get Baby Digger. No, we'll do it this way. Baby Digger. There's the old classic. It's not even the old. Well, kind of old. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not old. Okay. Let's go over the parts. We'll see what's getting, who's getting what. Let's start with this, one of the most important ones. Or one of the most common, or one of the easiest questions to answer. How about that? Jesus, I can't think today. Let's try this. Oh, that's cold. Woohoo! Nice thing about winter, you just throw your beer out in the snow for a few hours and she's ice cold. You just gotta wait till it starts to get chewy. And then you take the beer back inside. Okay, so there's the Baby Goliath motors. So many good things I've been told about these. It's going to be a little bit of work to get them in there, but we'll throw that right into the middle of these two trucks because one's going in each of these bad boys. Servos? Ugh. I'm perplexed because the Mighty Chihuahua is really kick-ass, and I have something over there that I haven't unboxed yet either that I think this servo is going to go into. Undecided. We'll find out because after I add weight to these things, I may have to get more of these guys. These I've been hearing are really well. That's the Honey Badger servo, sorry. I was about to say ESC. But that's the Honey Badger servo. I want to say that it's going to go into the Baby Digger. And this guy, after it's all weighted, might get 2 more of these. That's one of the things Tony has done to me. I'm going to have to order more stuff from him. I got 1 servo plate from him. I'm going to need 2 more of those, and probably 2 more of these Panda motors, or servos. Damn it, I've done it again. But I think that's going to be Baby Diggers. Let me blow my nose, because I hate hearing other people sniffle, and I'm doing it to myself now. Alright, nostrils have been cleaned. Next thing on the list, metal axles. Now, and they also come with those beautiful frickin' diff covers. Every time I look at them, man. Like if it was me, these would all be, everything would be made out of black and green, just like the trucks and everything else I paint. Freaking all of these are mainly black, or almost all black and green, except for the silver on there. But a set of CCXC metal housing axles for, it's going to go Baby Digger, right? Because you can't use them on the AX24. So that's going there. Easy decision. Number 2, the shocks. The shocks, I don't know if they're going to fit on either truck. I think I'm going to leave this setup for now just because the articulation is great. And I may do my trick where I take the shock off, I grab the spring, and I stretch it out. And then I put them back in. Or I might try droop. I tried asking that in a chat during somebody's live stream. I forget whose it was. I think it might have been the Beardo, Jason's RC. I don't know if I got an answer. I don't think I did. If anybody tried droop. And basically what droop is, you remove the spring and then put the shock back in again with no spring on it. So she's flat all the time. It's not a bad setup. I may try that on this thing. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm thinking the shocks are going to go on the Baby Digger. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, because I'm only going to get a couple things installed today, because already I've been rambling for 21 minutes. Well, that's real time. We'll see how it goes. Brass hex nuts. AX24, because this guy's getting the axles, it's getting enough weight. That's plenty. Now, here's some gears. Overdrive gears. It says 2 to 13. I'm a dumbass. I'm not going to lie. Most of you know that already. I just love RC and I'm entertaining. I think that's why people watch me. At least I hope that's why. Anywho, I'm a dumbass when it comes to figuring out this kind of stuff, because Tony got a hold of me and told me that these may be underdrive gears. He says the packaging got mixed up when he ordered them, and he's not sure which one he sent me. No problem, cool. But I would have to do trial and error, because like on the thing itself, it says 2 to 13, which is exactly what the package says. So I don't know if he means it got the wrong label, or if the label on the actual gears itself are wrong. So if you guys can tell me how I figure that out, because the teeth on it, see, I need something to count with. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it does have 13 there, but then it's a worm gear, right? So I don't know what to do with the other piece, because it looks like a giant screw, right? So I don't use overdrive gear or worm gears before. The Locy's had them, but I never changed them. I never blew one up. So I don't know about these things too much. So if you guys can tell me how to figure it out, if it's overdrive or underdrive without actually doing the install and getting it wrong. It says overdrive, that would go in the front. Underdrive, you'd put in the rear. Now it says overdrive, and I go and put it in the front, and it turns slower than the rear. The truck becomes useless, and I have to swap them again. But these gears are going into the AX24. That's what we're deciding today. Next up, what do we got? These are the knuckles. So that's easy. That's going on to the AX24 because Baby Digger's getting a new set of knuckles, I believe. No. Does Baby Digger have metal knuckles already? Yeah, he's got brass knuckles already. So that'll work with that. And another set of brass knuckles for this guy. Everything's black and gold. They're all gorgeous. But man, I want my own custom parts. Or maybe I could learn how to paint properly. I can make them green. It's because I like green. Alright, steering. I think at the end of the day, Baby Digger may end up being heavier than the AX24 because it's getting the metal axles. That's going to be a big tipper. Or tip the scales on the weight. You guys know what I'm saying. So the shock's over there. I think the steering is going to go on the Baby Digger. If you guys have a reason why it's more important to be over there on that truck, let me know. I really want your guys' opinion on this, because if I'm doing something wrong, I want to know about it. And there's that servo plate. The servo plate going with Baby Digger as well. Baby's getting a lot of stuff here. What else? And then the last of it is the 2 diff covers, which are absolutely going onto the AX24. I almost feel like I'm doing the AX24 disrespect here somehow, because I'm not giving a lot of the stuff, but it's whatever I want, right? And this is kind of this is the setup that I'm looking at and I'm wanting. Okay. Servo plate is kind of a must because it's getting the servo. The steering, if I do one, I want to do both. So that's kind of why it's going to... This Betty's getting nothing, it appears. Let's get Betty out of the way because Betty's not getting anything. Bad Betty. The shocks, again, I'm unsure. I'm thinking Baby Digger, just because I might try droop on the AX24. And then there's the set of axles. And a motor in each. Am I missing something? It feels like... Nope. That's everything. Alright. So that's my plan. I want to get that course going. So Wednesday morning I'm going to go and get supplies. My cousin's going to bring me some stuff from Ottawa when he's going to come back to visit, because I had family in from Ottawa today. Spent a little bit of time with them. Hung out with my uncle. Did 2 loads of laundry. Cleaned up in here a bit. I had a fire. This is a pretty busy day because I get 2 days off a week and they're not together. So like today's Sunday, I have today off, and then I have Wednesday off, and I work every other day of the week. So I'm a little bit busy. Kinda, not really. It's a lack of space. If I took the camera and showed you guys around everything, you'd be like, damn. Yeah, I live in a shed. I literally live in a shed. There's not a lot of room to do stuff in here, so... Like right now, I can get up and walk outside. That's it. I can't walk around the table. I can't go over to the camera. I can't get to my cot where I sleep. It's a little compact, but I love it. This is my little home away from home. And it beats the street, right? I'm a happy guy. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for this one. I just wanted to break down what I'm going to do with the parts. I'll talk about these things real quick again, because I got sidetracked earlier. Big surprise, right? But the plate is bigger. This is a ladder chassis. This is a twin vertical plate chassis with rear steer. So there's your two biggest differences. This is a ladder. This is a twin plate. That's huge. And then rear steer is huge. That's your two biggest differences. Other than that, they're borderline the same truck. But again, you put them in competition with each other. That suspension is weird though, eh? Because I like how Digger works. That's what I've done to Digger with the springs. Is I stretch them out, but these springs are longer. I don't know by how much. When I do the install video, I'll get out a little measuring tape or something, and I'll tell you guys in millimeters what's the difference in length. All right. Yeah, that's going to be it for now. The next video is going to be the install of parts onto. I'll do motors on both of them, and then I'm going to get after everything else. It won't take too long, but I figured I've rambled enough on this video. Basically an unboxing of this thing and a little bit of talking about it. I really like the rock lights. That's a nice touch that they did that. Like these things, does this have a battery in it? Yeah. Like this thing has lights too, but I think I disconnected the stock ones and I just have the ones that I run. Or that I put in it. Yeah, the stock ones are there. They're just not plugged in. They're just dangling there. But I did that to this guy, right? I had red eyes for Baby Digger. And then you can see the ESC is completely open. I decase them to lose upper weight. And that'll happen to this guy as well. Velcro's weird. Right off. Get her out of there. And I'll be decasing that for sure. Those shocks are tremendously long. They look much longer than these ones. They are definitely longer than these ones. So these ones would make this shorter. So these are definitely going on Baby Digger. Forget that. I've made my decision. But I may... Like, see in the rear? The springs aren't even strong enough to lift the axle up. And for me, that's a telltale sign they're too soft. That's how I do it on most of my vehicles, no matter what the scale. And you see on the... Is that the front? Can't even tell with the body off. I believe that's the front. But yeah, that side doesn't work too badly. Now if you take Baby Digger, who's got lead pellets in the tires themselves, brass knuckles, and that's about it for added weight. So in the back, she springs up real nice. In the front, not so much, but it does spring back. And that's the point of me taking the springs out and stretching them. Alright, I think it's going to be it for now. If I start doing the install video now, it's going to be way too long. So I'm going to save that for the next one. That'll be 1 in the morning, because I work from like 1:30 in the afternoon until 8 at night. And after I get off work, I just want to have a beer, hang out with Molly, and go to bed. So it'll be a morning video. Hopefully we got more good weather coming, because it's been super cold and lots of snow, and we're like, today was plus over. I'm babbling. I'm just going to end it. Screw it. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. I miss yous. More YouTubing to come after I build a course. Alright, thanks. Bye.